The day that makes people truly uneasy may have finally arrived. On May 2nd, someone posted a surveillance video on Douyin showing a robot suddenly losing control and attacking people. The clip quickly caught attention online. In the video, two men were seen tying the shoulder area of a black robot to a hook. They were operating a nearby computer, seemingly to send the robot some commands. But then, things went wrong. The robot started swinging its arms wildly, knocking over the monitor. It hit and kicked several chairs, and even knocked items off one of them. The support stand holding the robot nearly collapsed. The technician nearby was so frightened he ran away. Another man quickly rushed behind the robot and grabbed the stand to stop it from causing more damage. Many people online started talking about the video. Some recognized the robot as the Unitree H1, developed by China's Unitree Robotics. This is the same robot that performed a dance routine during China's Spring Festival Gala. It was once hailed as a shining example of robotics. People left comments like, "Oh my god, that's terrifying. Looks like the robot's gone rogue. Did it just become self-aware? And there's bound to be trouble if we keep developing robots like this." One user joked, "It must have been programmed with City Enforcer DNA. It's way too aggressive." After its performance at the 2025 Spring Festival Gala, the Unitree robot gained huge popularity. It soon became a fixture at malls, trade shows, and brand events, almost like a celebrity worker. But as it appeared more in commercial settings, the gap between its technology and real-world usability became obvious. Although it looked impressive, the robot often failed in bizarre or laughable ways. Most of its actions made people question whether it had any intelligence at all. In February 2025, during a Lantern Festival performance, a robot suddenly lost control while interacting with the audience. It became aggressive, almost as if it had emotions, and started hitting people with its body and head. The crowd panicked and stepped back in fear. A staff member quickly pulled the robot away, and a man holding a remote control managed to grab it by the neck and drag it back. Thankfully, security responded fast and no one was hurt. People online mocked the situation, saying things like, "It can't even walk steadily, and it's already attacking people." And the CCP loves showing off half-baked technology, pretending it's ahead of the world. Recently, in Tianshui, Gansu province, a Unitree robot was deployed during the May holiday to promote tourism. But while waving its arm, it accidentally knocked over a vendor's booth, damaging some of the products. Some people worried, what if it hits a child next time? The robot's navigation system failed, and the incident raised concerns about how safe, reliable, or even useful these humanoid robots really are. On social media, robot hype is everywhere. Viral videos regularly show robots doing backflips, tai chi, or other complex moves, giving people the impression that embodied intelligence has reached new heights, but raw footage tells a different story. In late December 2024, a Unitree humanoid robot fell down at a trade show. It wasn't a simple fall. It was shaking all over as having a seizure. Other videos circulating online show robots dancing or interacting with hosts, but looking stiff and awkward. Even on a flat stage, they stumble constantly. When the performance ends, the robot can't even go down the stairs by itself. 3 adult men have to carry it down. On April 19th, at a humanoid robot marathon in Beijing's Economic Technological Development area, the reality became painfully clear. Despite months of preparation by 20 teams, robots were falling flat on level ground, spinning in circles, or collapsing after walking just 80 meters. One robot even broke its head. Technicians often had to stay close, supporting the robots like babysitters. When they couldn't reach them in time, all they could do was smile awkwardly. These repeated mishaps have made it clear that China is still in the early stages of figuring out humanoid robots. Problems like balance stability, overloaded sensors, overheating joints, and poor battery life have revealed serious technological limits. To truly mimic human movements, robots still need big breakthroughs in both hardware and algorithms. This half-marathon event shattered many people's expectations and sparked widespread public discussion. On X, users made fun of the robots, saying they moved like stroke victims, or joked that staff were like babysitters carrying remote controls. Others said, "This isn't a marathon, this is people walking their robots." These comments reflect how the public sees the current state of robotics, not as impressive as the promotional videos suggest. It's also worth noting that despite how powerful these robots look in concept videos, the real-world value they offer is still very limited. As people get more familiar with humanoid robots, the excitement fades. They stop being a crowd puller. Now, Unitree robots are experiencing the awkward phase of being has-been internet stars. At the Shanghai Auto Show on April 27th, when the 10th exhibitor rolled out a Unitree robot as a greeter, people didn't even bother taking photos anymore. It's just like the VR booths in malls. Once the novelty goes away, so does the crowd. A marketing director at a mall in Hangzhou admitted, "We replaced the robot with a giant panda mascot during May Day. It worked better. At least the kids wanted to hug it." Some people in the industry have revealed that getting a robot to do something as simple as handing over scissors during a ribbon-cutting ceremony takes 3 days of programming. A customer once asked for the robot to perform a leg-sweeping trick, but that request is still listed as a technical challenge in Unitree's official response scripts. One rental operator joked, "This isn't a robot, it's an ancestor. We have to serve it." As Unitree's exposure increased, their industrial inspection robots saw a 220% jump in orders during the first quarter of 2025, but their consumer-grade robots are still viewed more like fancy toys. In some overseas unboxing videos, the most exciting thing people could do with the robot was make a backflip for their cats. Even more ironically, some buyers who spent over 100,000 yuan on a Unitree robot, hoping to make money by renting it out, ended up with what felt like a pile of scrap metal. A TikTok user recently shared their experience after buying a Unitree G1. On just the second day of use, the robot broke. It fell and cracked before even using up one full battery cycle. The person could no longer rent it out, and the robot ended up just sitting idle in storage.
花10万块钱买的语数机器人到货第二天，第二次使用摔了。
I spent 100,000 yuan, and it broke the second time I used it. Well, I guess this counts as a drop test. I told it to sit down. The chair was behind it, not in front. And it missed and fell. Its body cracked. I wanted to compliment it, but now I'm just sweating. Let's lie down and inspect the damage. It couldn't sit properly. Now it's stuck lying there. See this spot? It's scraped, and this part is cracked. Let me show you a close-up. The neck area already had issues yesterday. Now the body's broken, but the head still moves. Let's see if it can stand again. I'll help you up. Okay, squatting still works, but this whole thing is exhausting.
In the comments, one user wrote, "To be honest, I feel like this robot gets boring after an hour." Another said, "This thing feels like it should cost 1,000 yuan. A toy factory could make it." Some even joked, "Unitree isn't a tech company, it's a film production company." Many people bought Unitree robots because they thought renting them out would be highly profitable. But that business model was only ever sustainable during the hype phase, when people were paying just to see something new. It was never going to last. According to a report by Mirror Image Studio, in February, the first wave of buyers who got their hands on the Unitree G1 were renting them out for 15,000 yuan a day. They were fully booked, made back their investment in a week, and earned over 200,000 yuan in just half a month. Bookings were filled all the way through May, but now rental prices have dropped to between 5,000 to 8,000 yuan per day. Xu Chong, who works for an internet company in Hangzhou, saw the buzz around Unitree after the Spring Festival Gala. In March, he ordered one Unitree G1 and 2 other robots from a different brand. He expected to start making money from rentals. But just 2 months later, he started to worry. The demand wasn't as strong as he had hoped. Even with holidays like International Women's Day, Qingming Festival, and Labor Day, he only managed to get 3 or 4 rental orders between March and May. And since his robots hadn't arrived yet, he had to pass those orders on to someone else. Another entrepreneur in Beijing, Zhang, owns 8 robot dogs and 1 Unitree G for rental. He charges 8,000 yuan a day for the G1, but since April, it's only been rented out 2 days a week. The rest of the time, it just sits unused. He admitted that he never saw this as a main business, just a side hustle. The first 2 months were okay, but now the profits are shrinking. As the excitement wears off, people are realizing that humanoid robots can't actually do much. The hype might have peaked, and it's becoming harder and harder to rent them out. In the end, robots like the Unitree G1 still feel far from being a part of daily life. Some users online commented that the Unitree robot may have gone viral after the Spring Festival Gala, but it was all hype. The rental market quickly went cold, and now even second-hand resellers are in tears. Regular people should think twice before jumping on the bandwagon. One wrong move and you're stuck with an expensive piece of junk. In recent years, the Chinese Communist Party has poured unprecedented investment and policy support into robotics and artificial intelligence. In March 2025, China's National Development and Reform Commission announced the creation of a state-led fund to support innovation in robotics, AI, and cutting-edge technologies. The plan aims to mobilize approximately 138 billion US dollars. Over the next 20 years, it combines local government resources with private capital. It's part of China's strategy to integrate robotics with emerging technologies, upgrade core components, and push into new smart manufacturing applications. This policy direction shows China's determination to dominate the global tech race, especially against countries like the US. On April 29th, CCP General Secretary Xi Jinping visited a startup incubator called Model Speed Space in Shanghai's Xuhui district. His attention to large AI model platforms and his interaction with Unitree's co-founder Peng Zhihui sparked major buzz online. At one point, Xi asked, "Can robots join a football team in the future?" But this prompted sarcastic reactions from users. The mob boss, referring to Xi, looks more like a robot himself, and maybe let robots run for general secretary instead. These comments suggest that while the CCP is aggressively promoting AI and robotics as tools for industrial and economic advancement, using them in political messaging may backfire and lead to unexpected public pushback. On March 30th, venture capitalist Zhu Xiaohui spoke at the 2025 Shanghai Jiao Tong University Alumni Investment Conference. He said, "We're pulling out of humanoid robot companies in large numbers. There's no commercial potential. You can't support an industry forever on government subsidies and novelty." Remarks about a humanoid robot bubble sparked debate. A robotics expert who goes by the name Du Wang posted a video supporting Zhu's view.
I don't have high hopes for Unitree technology. I support what Zhu Xiaohu said about humanoid robots being a bubble. Not only is it a bubble, but it's also a collective delusion. First, it looks advanced, but it's actually useless. I've seen those so-called robots that punch, flip, or serve tea and water, and all of them are preset actions. Behind them, there's someone controlling them remotely, and the battery life only lasts for an hour. Don't even talk about replacing labor. These robots can't even pass a wrench onto a construction site. This isn't mature technology. It's just a performance. Second, capital is investing in the wrong direction. I've met many robotics entrepreneurs. If you're not working on humanoid robot projects, nobody will invest in you. If you want to develop a robot that can actually work, like a cleaning robot, a floor sweeping robot, or a care robot, no one will give you money. But if you make the robot's metal shell look like a human and add interfaces for large models, people will line up to give you money. In this environment, it will just lead the industry astray. Third, the more the bubble is inflated, the more it will destroy the real technological path. I'm not being pessimistic about the technology, but I've seen too much of this. Everyone's rushing in without anyone wanting to solve the basic problems properly. In the end, it's just chaos. I've always believed that truly useful robots don't rely on looks or performance. They rely on doing real work for people. The sooner we realize this, the smaller the losses will be. What I'm saying might not be pleasant to hear, but I'd rather be the one to remind you.